and we're back. And I hope you're staying safe, and I hope you're staying indoors. And if you do go outdoors for like a walk for your mental health, I support that, of course, but stay 6 feet apart from other people. Wash your hands. We're all doing our best to flatten the curve here. But I do have some comic book news for you, which is so exciting. Mancave Studios, a publisher in Miami, Florida. Shout out to Florida. You guys know that's where I'm from. Go Gators. I'm obligated to say that because I owe them a lot of money. They are doing their best to help some US comic book retailers, which is just so cool in this very trying time. So I'm going to tell you all about that. So without further ado, let's talk comics. Now, Mancave Studios has started a GoFundMe, and they've donated 10,000 of their own dollars to get it off the ground. And what they hope to do is raise $100,000 and then start giving out grants to comic book stores who need help in these very uncertain times. Now, I said this before in a previous video, and you probably already know this, but your local comic book shop is probably a small business, and they're probably suffering right now. And we want to make sure that after we can all go and frolic and free in the world without the worry of COVID-19, that our comic book retailers are still there. I'm from a really small town in Florida, and growing up, the comic book shop was like the only cool place, in my opinion anyway. And you know, before I was born, my dad owned a comic book shop in the town, and the guys who owned the comic book shop back in my hometown used to shop at my dad's shop, and they remember that. And it's not only like a place where you buy comics, but it's like a community. And so I know a lot of you probably care about the people who work at your comic book shop. I care about the people who work at the comic book shop that I go to. So I hope that they're doing okay. And we want to make sure that, you know, when we come out of this, we have just as many comic book shops as we started with. Especially here in Portland, there are a lot of them. And I've been to most of them, and they're all amazing. And so I want to make sure that, you know, they're doing okay. So if you're a comic book retailer and you're in need at this time, please visit the link below in the comment box down there. And reach out to Mancave. If you're somebody who can donate, please donate. If you can't donate, I know a lot of us are out of work right now. I'm working from home. I'm one of the really lucky people who can do that. I'm thankful for that every day, but I know not everybody is as fortunate. Just share it on your social media. Maybe somebody you know can donate, and even $5 makes a difference. So really cool. Right now, Mancave Studios has a lot of their #1 issues for free on their website, and when they hit $15,000, they're going to release a lot of the second issue of the comics that they have, the first issue for free. If you hadn't heard of Mancave Studios, I hadn't either. I don't know everything about comics. I'm learning. And they reached out to me and they let me download some of their first issue comics. And I didn't know what I was going to get into, and I'm going to make a whole separate video about this, but I just want to let you know right here that I read 2 of them. I read one called Woven Heart and one called Show's End, and I loved both of them. I'm obsessed with like freak shows of yore. There's a town in Florida, and again, I'm going to talk about this in my other video. There's a town in Florida. It's got the kind of like the last remaining like freak show town, and so I've always had like a weird interest in it, and this comic was really good. Show's End, would recommend it. And Woven Heart was like Blade meets Doctor Who. It was very strange, and I loved it. It was so good. It was Monster Hunter, like you want to see it. It's very, very cool. Would also recommend that as well, but definitely sort of a different, totally different comics. But they were great. I didn't know, I guess, what I was expecting, but I was blown away. So I would recommend you check them out. And if you can, purchase a couple comic books from them. But really support your local shops if you can. And this is a great way, you know, reach out to your local shop and like let them know that this thing exists. And you know, if anybody you know can donate, maybe just send them the link, slide into their DMs respectfully with this link only. My suggestion to you. Again, I know times are really, really hard right now, and it's hard to think about other things besides what's going on in our own lives, especially if you have mental health problems. I have a little bit of the depression and anxiety, so I know how that can be. So please reach out to your loved ones. Please make sure you're doing okay, and then after that, take care of your comic book retailers. I know this is a really hard time, so I hope that you're doing okay. And you can always reach out to me on Twitter. I want to know what you're reading. We have nothing but time to read things. I will never again be able to say, oh, if only I had time, I would insert ambitious thing I said I would do. Because I have a lot of time now, and all I'm doing is reading comics and playing Animal Crossing because I'm an adult. So, it's going great. I'm doing great. But really, I want to know what you're reading if you're, you know, reaching into that sort of to-read pile, or if you're going back to some of your old favorites. You know, I read what I like, and I try and branch out when I can, but I don't know much, to be honest. So I'd love to hear from you guys. Not only just about comics, but you know, how you're doing and stuff. So yes, Mancave Studios doing this super, super cool thing. And if you want more information, please visit the link down below in the comment box. Follow them on social media. Check out their website. The only two comics I've read right now are Show's End and Wolvenheart, but I would recommend both of them. So maybe give them a read and let me know what you think. Later this week, I will have a video up about both of those comics, doing a full review, but not a spoiler-free review, if you will. So I look forward to that. I look forward to seeing you guys a little later this week, but just wanted to check in and say hello as you notice my cough is mostly gone. How exciting. All right, maybe we're back. Until next time, it's been Nerd News with Destiny. That's it. That's all I got. I'm gonna include some extra footage of my dog at the end it's the treat for you guys who are putting up for this. Thanks.
Hi. Oh, good boy. This is Watson. He's a good quarantine buddy. He basically just sleeps all day. Don't you, bud? Okay, I love you, bye.